that Balenciaga's been a nonce. Kanye West been banned off Twitter, and Craig David's still twisting it with both like that. It's coming up. Cup of tea, like Steve.
Go on then.
Watch what you're doing.
So.
Watch your lips on that. Right, guys.
Alright, welcome back to the show, guys.
I'm Stephen.
I'm Bootsy. Let's kick off then.
It was a Groundhog Day there, wasn't it, Steve?
Oh, aye. The Balenciaga scandal. So let's just get stuck right in. So last week, Balenciaga released their latest gift collection ad campaign, which had toddlers model with teddy bears wrapped in bondage, padlocks around their necks, and empty champagne glasses.
This is your new filter podcast, guys.
If you zoom in on the pictures, there was dates written on the walls. When you Google the top news stories on those dates, it's referencing child predator court cases. Also books and Supreme Court documents being featured, referencing a court case arguing for child porn to be legalised.
Had there, so Balenciaga's done it, because you know what, I knew this whole thing had blew up, right? It was like a advertising thing. What did they put it out on Instagram or something?
Just on their website and Instagram, aye.
So it's like a whole new thing they've done.
Aye.
And,
whole new ad campaign.
And then it was full of babies, was it?
So it was toddlers.
I haven't actually seen it, mate. Have you seen it?
I've seen the ones they put on the news and that, aye. So Balenciaga, so toddlers with teddy bears wearing bondage, padlocks around the necks, empty champagne glasses. And in the background there was dates on the walls. If you Google those dates, the top news stories on them dates were referencing child predator court cases, and there's also books in the pictures. If you zoom in, the books and the documents are referencing court cases arguing for child porn to be legalised.
Child porn should be legalised, they're saying.
Aye.
On the advert. How do they think they can get away with that, like? How do they think? Do you know what? I carry on, and I've got a book. I've got a full fucking book.
We'll discuss it as we go.
It's got a full fucking book there.
No, what were you going to say? Go on.
Do you know what? This whole thing has actually been in my head like a positive thing, because the likes of this Balenciaga, right? For me, they think they can get away with doing stuff like this, but there's actually been an uproar, and they're not being cancelled yet. Who's still wearing that?
I know.
He's still got a pair of Balenciaga trainers, hey?
So anyway,
nonce feet.
The book at the top of the pile was Michael Borman's Fire from the Sun, which features blood-covered toddlers, and the bottom book, Matthew Barney, The Cremasta Cycle, is also just as disturbing. Obviously there was public outrage, so Balenciaga removed the images and issued a statement trying to blame the creative studio for the shoot. But then they posted...
They went buy it, guys.
But then they took it down and they posted a new one, which was the Adidas Balenciaga Spring Collection. This time the image was of someone holding a handbag, and behind them there was a certificate on the wall, and if you zoom in, it has the name of a child predator that had a very big court case.
It sounds, you know what this sounds like? It sounds like a conspiracy, doesn't it? It sounds like it can't be real.
I know, but it's all happening there, guys.
So Adidas is in on it now, isn't it?
Aye.
Oh no, the amount of Adidas stuff we've got.
So anyway, so after that, Balenciaga's apologised about both instances, and I've got...
Sorry there for being a pedophile. Sorry doesn't cut it for me, like.
No.
Cancel them. People's been cancelled for less.
This is what the came out and says on the matter. I'll zoom in, mate. I put my goggles on, actually. Blind as one of them bats. We would like to address the controversy surrounding our recent ad campaigns. We strongly condemn child abuse. It was never our intent to include it in our narrative. The two separate ad campaigns in question reflect a series of grievous errors for which Balenciaga takes responsibility. The first campaign, the gift collection campaign, featured children with plush bear bags dressed in what some have labelled BDSM inspired outfits or plush bear bags, and the gift collection should not have been featured with children. This was a wrong choice by Balenciaga. Combined with our failure in assessing and validating images, the responsibility for this lies with Balenciaga alone. The second separate campaign for spring 2023, which was meant to replicate a business office environment, included a photo with a page in the background from a Supreme Court ruling, United States v. Williams 2008, which confirms as illegal and not protected by Freedom of speech, the promotion of child pornography.
So that's just, they're saying that that's a coincidence that it was supposed to be portraying an office environment.
It just happened to have
and it just happened to be a child porn case,
even though the one
just by chance.
Even though the one that just took down also had child porn, predator stuff in the background.
They're pushing an agenda, it seems to me.
All the items included in this shooting were provided by third parties that confirmed in writing that these props were fake office documents. They turned out to be real, legal papers, most likely coming from the filming of a television drama. The inclusion of these unapproved documents was the result of reckless negligence, for which Balenciaga has filed a complaint. We take full accountability for our lack of oversight and control of the documents in the background, and we could have done things differently. While internal and external investigations are ongoing, we are taking the following actions. We are closely revising our organisation and collective ways of working. We are reinforcing the structures around our creative processes and validation steps. We want to ensure that new controls mark a pivot and will prevent this from happening again. We are laying the groundwork with organisations who specialise in child protection and aims at ending child abuse and exploitation. We want to learn from our mistakes and identify ways we can contribute. Balenciaga reiterates its sincere apologies for the offence we have caused and extends its apologies to talents and partners. But the problem people have with the statement is that it doesn't take into account the runway show. So they did a runway show recently which features people carrying baby dolls on their chest, and they've got a bag with like baby items in, like doilies and toys and blankets covered in blood on that runway now in the modelling.
Aye.
What's in your bag?
In my bag, like stuff for baby.
Like,
Should we do a what's in your bag?
yeah, can we do a what's in the bag, please?
Should I hold it for you and you can take the things out?
Excuse me.
Yeah. Look, there's like when she starts to cry, like then when she gonna pee, I don't know. Then when she's boring,
She's boring.
Yeah, everything possible.
When was that?
Very recently, apparently. I don't have the date though, but doesn't really matter when it was. They've had a runway show of like baby dolls and like babies' toys and items covered in blood.
It's very sick, isn't it?
Even up to this point, like, you notice, like when
Because they're fashion shite anyway.
Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were wearing them gimp masks and all that for a bit, like that was a bit weird in itself. It's kind of a gradual process going in that direction. Do you reckon? Like we'll start with the Kim Kardashian in a gimp mask,
See
then
if we can get away with that.
they'll hit them with the child porn.
Know what I mean though? Like there's a big step there, because obviously gimp masks hasn't got much to do with being like paedophiles and that, has it?
But I guess it's like almost BDSM, isn't it? So now they've got teddy bears wearing BDSM with babies, with kids in the pictures and that, and empty like PV bottles around bends and that. But one of the people who recruited the models for Balenciaga's runway show was a woman called Rachel Chandler, who's been on Jeffrey Epstein's island, and even posted a picture on Instagram of CCTV footage back in 2013 bragging about being on the island. And if you look at a modelling agency, every one of the models looks like trafficking victims, so like quite young with very dark sunken eyes and very skinny and like, you know, they look a bit fucked up. In a previous ad campaign, I had a picture of a woman with black eyes who clearly been abused, so it would appear they've got dark things going on, you know.
And Balenciaga alone. It honestly, to me, it sounds like something that it sounds like a conspiracy that can't be real.
I know.
Like, you know, like, people's like, oh, look, zoom in on the picture and that, and you'll see like certain dates and that. You know, like when Tupac died. Oh, look, if you muddle the words around, it says I am alive. It sounds like something like that. It sounds like it can't be real.
But like, as a brand, how can they say that they condemn child abuse yet?
Who, you know, if you muddle the name, the letters run the Balenciaga, it says I am a fucking nonce.
But how can they condemn it, right? Like child abuse, then they've got blood splattered baby items in their runway shows, and work closely with people like that Lotta Volkova, who was the person who was in charge of all this design, and who Instagram's now private, but the pictures on her Instagram feature child abuse. Like, I've seen some of the pictures.
Look like a bloke.
No, it is actually a bloke.
Shut up, man.
It is. Oh no, I don't know, you know.
It's 2023, guys. You can never be sure.
I know. So pictures like on the Instagram, because there was screenshots on the on other Instagram pages when they were reporting about it. So made it private, but there's pictures of like a young lass like tied to a chair and gagged and all that, and there's like a computer behind that with like loads of blokes like watching, like on a chat
And that's
thing.
on her website.
It's on our Instagram, aye. It's part of like an ad campaign, like just meant to be art. And
Art's shite, isn't it? That's not art. That's
And,
pedophilia, that.
she's one of the top designers for Balenciaga and Adidas, who's
Adidas is
responsible
gonna get
for
cancelled now.
those ad campaigns. So then obviously Kanye West, but also Kim Kardashian are like top brand ambassadors for Balenciaga. And after like 6 days of silence, and people like hammering Kim Kardashian saying, are you going to like say anything about this or what? She came out and done a statement and said like, obviously she doesn't support child abuse. As a mother of 4, she's going to reevaluate our relationship with Balenciaga.
Aye.
Reevaluate. But to me, I was thinking that she's probably just buying a bit of time till the next scandal comes along, so it'll take the heat off her a bit, people will stop talking about it, and then lo and behold, next minute, you've got Kanye West saying he loves Hitler.
You know what it is though? I don't think Balenciaga can bounce back from this, mate.
No.
It doesn't matter if the next scandal comes along or not. Like, the likes of me and you, who never would buy Balenciaga, more than likely not, unless I somehow fancied buying a fucking $3,000 t-shirt that looks like a pile of shite. But anyway, like the likes of us, I'm just dead against it now. And if I see anyone wearing Balenciaga, I'd be like, wait, they're in support of like child abuse. It's weird. And
Yeah.
not, you know, like, but not. It didn't just take for this for me to think they were like a bunch of idiots, like, because it was like lately they've done a whole range on Balenciaga clothes that were based off the homeless. Like, it literally was based on the homeless.
Aye.
And these t-shirts are like $3,000, man.
No, in bins and that in the shop.
How is that? Like, is that meant to be funny? It's just like, how is that got? How can they like? They're just so out of touch. It seems like, how has that got anything to do with the homeless? Like, $3,000 t-shirt.
The scary thing is that they probably will bounce back, and people will just be like, oh, they made a mistake, whatever. But it just, they kind of showing their true colours a bit, like they've popped their head out a little bit. And oh shit! But
this is a positive, like I was saying, because there's been that much outrage. Like, they have thought they can get away with this. How can they think that? How can they think they're gonna get away with it? It you know what it points out? Some very deep-rooted evil in the world. I think.
Aye, 100%.
Think they can pop their head out and get away with it, and then what was gonna be next, like?
I know, But I think Kim Kardashian's got an opportunity here to be an absolute hero, to turn around and say, fuck Balenciaga, stop wearing that shit, don't support paedophiles. But I didn't think she will.
I hope she does.
She'll be like, oh, they made a mistake, you know.
You make mistakes in life.
They're making changes.
That is not a mistake, like.
Yeah, I know, But it's happened 3 times, like, there's 3 places there, that runway show, the first one they put it with the teddy bears, and then the other one with the pictures and all that. Like, it's obviously not a mistake, it's obviously something they're pushing in it.
Aye, but pushing on, because now my dad was on about this 3 years ago and saying there's a mad agenda in the world and all that, like the high powers and that above the governments and all that, and they're going to start pushing paedophiles and all that to normalise it, and all this, and all, you know, the way the world that it's gone at the minute, it's fucking wild, man.
I know.
Like, everything that's going on now, you just think, aye, maybe the fuck that is what they're doing, and maybe this was a little trial, but they're fucked up because it hasn't happened, has it?
Nah.
It's never going to be right.
But that's
never going to be normal.
As long as you've got, like, you know, normal people in the world with, like, you know, decent friggin', you know, values and that.
Because they can push it all they want, but it doesn't make it normal, like.
There's no way you'd ever get, you know, normal people supporting that sort of shit. Like, maybe it's the PR rich elite toffs who are, you know, known to be sick individuals who are into paedophilia and all that carry on. But not the working class guy.
Maybe that's why they're trying to cancel out the masculine blokes so they can push this thing forward.
And then maybe aye.
So once everyone's a transvest, it's a knee gender and all that, then there's no they won't say no.
And then
let's have a world full of fucking idiots.
Kanye West actually came out earlier in the week looking like, you know, he was in a good spot, starting to I don't know, get back in the good graces with the public a bit. And he was saying, oh, none of these celebrities are talking about the Balenciaga thing because they're all controlled by it and they don't want to like be seen to be going against it. They don't want to mess up their paycheck and all that.
That's the way he should have went.
And that was it. Oh, get in, Kanye's
steady away.
He's on a good track here. Then literally woke up the next morning and he'd been on that Alec Jones podcast and he'd been saying that he loves Hitler, he loves Nazis. And some people have been saying that it's been taken out of context. There is little snippets, but no matter which way you slice it, saying I love Hitler and the Nazis were great, it's not a good look. You know what I mean?
I says during the interview with Alex Jones, he said to West, "You're not a Nazi, you're not Hitler, you don't deserve to be that," and demonised for it. And then West responded saying, "I say good things about Hitler. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love us and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts and you can love what we're doing pushing this pornography." What the fuck's all that about?
Who said that?
That's what West said.
Did he?
That was in his replies on about the Jews pushing pornography. I don't know if he's on about this whole... Is Balenciaga Jewish? I don't know.
Maybe that's what he's getting at.
Maybe he's... but this guy, meaning Hitler, that invented highways and invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good. I'm done with that. He continued, every human being has brought something of value to the table, especially Hitler. And then I went and straight away looked up who invented the microphone just off the top, just like, because I was thinking, he invented the microphone. In 1877, Emil Berliner filed a patent for the microphone. Blah de blah de blah.
If Hitler invented the microphone, what was he using when he was doing his speeches?
What was he, Zip Island?
Just invented that day.
Aye.
Yeah, I've just invented this microphone on a talking right now.
1 1 2.
Mic check 1.
Check Heil.
Shout out Nazi crew out there. Who you Put one hand in the air. That's how things out, man.
That's how things out.
But do you think, right, maybe he knows, because it happened so soon after the Balenciaga thing, right? Like literally a few days after. Do you reckon he's like, this is some sort of subliminal attack at them, and maybe he is getting at it is maybe run by Jews? I don't know, like, I'm just...
What was that?
Like, maybe this is his way of, like, attacking them in a way, because maybe, let's just say, hypothetically, it was Jewish-owned company or whatever. Maybe by him going in and says he loves Nazis and loves Hitler, maybe that's his little dig at them kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Aye.
But I don't know. God, it's bizarre though, isn't it, man? What's going on?
Well, if he hasn't fucked his cell the first time round, like, he's completely done it now, because, like you say, he could have put that behind him? I don't know. Some people will never forgive him for that.
No.
But he could, I don't know. Do you think he's just wild in the heat? Or do you think, I don't know, he's kind of, I don't know.
And then,
you can't even be seen to be saying, do you think he's, do you think what he's saying's, it's got some truth to it, and then you just can't say it, can you? You can't bring yourself, because he was one of the most evil blokes ever, if not the most worst.
And then he's only been back on Twitter a week. Elon Musk removed his ban or whatever, and he said he was going to take a step back from everything, but then he's just totally done the opposite. He's been banned from Twitter again because he posted a Star of David with a swastika in the middle.
What's he trying to prove by doing that?
I don't know, but he wrote year 24. We had a nice run. Jesus is king. Love everyone. Love speech. And then he put, let's always remember this is my final tweet. And it's a picture of Elon Musk being hosed.
By who, like?
I'll put the picture on you. Ari?
He's Jewish, isn't he?
I don't know, maybe. And Elon Musk put, just clarifying that his account is being suspended for incitement to violence, not an unflattering pic of me being hosed by Ari. Frankly, I found those pics to be helpful motivation to lose weight. Elon, fix Kanye, please. Someone wrote. He put, I tried my best. Despite that, he again violated our rule against incitement to violence. Account will be suspended. You know what it is? That's
I like
good
this
as well.
new thing, mate.
You
it's
know,
very personal, right? Elon, isn't
we've
it?
actually said this like weeks ago on the show that you know how Twitter was controlling like everything.
Aye.
And if you had an opinion that went against you know, even the COVID thing and all that, it would just be deleted.
Aye.
And we said freedom of speech should be allowed unless it's like hate speech or, you know, something like that, or you're committing a crime.
Aye.
And that's now what it is.
I like that, mate.
I like the day we're living in, guys. Let's see how long it lasts.
I know. Do you not think there's like, going to be an uprising of this kind of people like Elon Musk though? I feel like there is, mate.
Of people like him.
I think people starting to see what's like the world's a bit fucked up and people's trying to take a stand. Unless that's just the kind of people I'm watching at the minute.
Aye. But look at what Elon Musk just put on 2 hours ago. His status on Twitter, if that's what you call it. What really happened with the Hunter Biden story suppression by Twitter will be published on Twitter at 5 p.m.
Hey, no way.
That's coming out, aye.
It's coming up. Yeah, it's mad that you know. Like, it's a good time, innit?
Aye.
I never got Twitter, mate.
I've never had a Twitter account like that, now.
I'd never understood it, guys. It was one of them ones I did Facebook.
Seems like a political battlefield to me. I wouldn't know what to do with it.
Aye. Now it is. I got Facebook, and then it was a big step to get Instagram. And now I like Instagram. I didn't bother with Facebook that anymore. But I never bothered with Twitter because all you did was write something on it, did you not? And that's it.
Yeah, it's just, I think you can post videos and pictures and that, but it's just about like writing your opinions and shit. I don't know. What's Twitter about, guys?
Tweeting celebrities and all that and hoping they get a retweet. And then what does that give you, like? The fuck do you want, like?
God knows.
Aye. And it's just what I touched on first thing. I seen just before last night I was just having a little surf on the internet and I seen Craig David still twisting.
Is he still? I thought you would take the piss.
No, he's still crying on about it, right? It was an interview with the Times this week. Craig David described the programme as bullying. It says the 7-Day singer explained that Francis, obviously that's
Ave Marion,
aye. What's he called again?
Lee Francis,
aye.
Keith Lemon.
Aye, Keith Lemon, aye. Was highlighting characteristics that he felt would trigger us personally, so all the characters, not just him. And he said every sketch felt personal to me. It felt like a vendetta, and when it got a following, it became something else that affected me. People would shout at me on the street, and I felt the same feeling I had when I was at school, bullied.
Shit.
And it is a bit mad, that, isn't it?
Aye.
But fucking hell, I seen him years ago, on GMTV, full of juice, and he was raging about it, Fucking hell, man, but. And that's easier to said than done, and that, but.
Can I get a rewind?
I know, like, Buzz, like, that was gold, you know what I mean? Like, I got the piss took at school, you just need to laugh it off. Like, and that it wasn't on a national level, like. But.
How would you feel if you got megged on a popular comedy show in front of the whole country? You had a mask.
You'd have to laugh it off, wouldn't you? But anyway, he touched more on it. He said, Lee Francis had normalised bullying by making it comedy.
But you know how it is though, we're both like that. The characters were nothing like the real people.
I know,
Like, remember the Michael Jackson one?
Aye.
Like, they were nothing like the real people. So, I wonder what it was about that what he didn't like.
Aye. Maybe because he said it felt like he had a vendetta against him. Do you reckon Craig David pissed his cell and all that? Because didn't he have a bag with him all the time full of piss and that?
A bird called Kess.
Aye. Did he have a bird called Kess?
Alright, Kess.
Aye.
Proper boa, tell thee.
You know what though? Like, watching both like that, it made me think that Craig David was even better than what he was.
Didn't he even appear in it?
I liked it, mate.
Aye. Remember like Mel B and all that?
Aye.
Ooh, my grapes. Ooh, you bastard, you.
Me minge!
Ooh.
Aye, and then anyway, David was also not impressed by the comedian's makeup and branded it racist. The Rewind singer added it was bullying across the board for everyone when he put blackface on. That was being racist. I'd laugh it off or run from it. When you're younger, you think you can ride through this, but it chips away until you're in a really dark place.
Jesus. Well, that's serious then, if that's actually how he felt.
Aye. Wait, is that blackface what he had just because he had a mask of Craig David on?
Do you not have his skin painted now? I can't remember.
I don't
It's too
know.
long ago. But remember on Little Britain, man?
Fucking great though, wasn't
Nah,
it?
in Little Britain, that was the character.
Not the blackface, by the way. Just the fucking
Aye.
the whole bus. Like, I was good.
But hasn't Lee Francis came out and he's apologised for all those characters now?
Numerous
They all got
times.
cancelled.
Numerous times.
And so did Little Britain. When they had that character where he played a fat woman and she was always in the sauna. And then they introduced the black one as well, but it was David
Bubbles.
Williams, just fully painted black, but he
Aye.
was like dead big. They've apologised for that one.
Aye.
But, you know what it is?
This is
I
a this
don't
is
know.
a sketchy subject.
And I don't know, you know, like, I guess we're not in a position to say really if it, how people
We've had
felt
all
about
this
that.
before though, like obviously, like.
You could argue that.
Fucking say it.
you
What
could-
about white chicks?
You could argue that, you know, by having, you know, different race characters in the show, even
That
though
he's
they're,
been
even though they're
inclusive of
played by
everyone.
white people, they take the piss out of everyone.
Aye.
So, and they're not necessarily going with racial stereotypes and that, and like being the obvious
Aye.
like racist jokes and that. I don't think that's what it was. I don't think that's what they were trying to do. They were just had like different race characters, but again at the same time, we're white, so I guess we don't know how it would feel to be the other way around. But
Aye.
I don't know.
But there's just people that you're not allowed to take the piss out of. Not that you should take the piss at anyone, but you just shouldn't. And like that is one.
Marginalised groups.
Aye. But he took the piss out of gay people as well, and I never saw an uproar from. I think Craig David just flipped out at me. Like I think he took it personal. Like
Do you reckon? I?
you should have laughed that off. I don't know. Who am I to say that? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not anyone.
I don't know. But yeah, interesting topic there, guys.
Aye.
What's your thoughts? Leave a comment.
Welcome back to the programme, guys. I'm Steve.
I'm Bootsy. Parched the lad.
I'm thirsty. Like, we're just gonna wrap it up. We had a guest on, didn't we, just now?
Aye, you had a guest.
We had a guest that'll come out next week.
I'd say Fury Chisora 3 tomorrow.
Aye.
What do you reckon?
I reckon. I think it might be an upset there. You know, I'm always like this with Fury though. Chisora's gonna come out like a wild man, isn't he? In the opening rounds. I don't know.
Well, they said they're going to stand in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, watch this. Knock out Chisora round 4.
Do you reckon? Right, my prediction is.
Didn't say a snooze fest. I can't.
No, I don't think snooze fest. I reckon there'll be a scrap. I reckon Fury will knock him out in like the 10th.
You reckon Oh, I'm saying round 4 Chisora. We'll stick a bet on. Get Marky to do it. Marky knows how.
Aye.
Marky puts a bet on, don't you, Marky?
By the time this goes out, the result will be in.
We'll put the result in
was
the
right.
title. We'll put the result in the title, and then maybe we'll get some more clicks.
Aye.
Because last week we flopped, guys. Didn't watch last week, did you? What we doing wrong, eh? I reckon we got buried because we went against the standards, me, YouTube, because we had we talked about the bloke who went to jail because of his daughter decided she was a bloke.
Went against the agenda.
Aye, I reckon we got hit.
Wait, we're not going to get forward with this one then. If that's the case.
I reckon it's going to be an uprising of people against the
agendas.
agenda, me. Aye.
Uprising of agendas, guys.
What we're saying in the football league?
England are through.
Aye. There's too many.
But you know how we were saying we avoided the score all last Saturday because obviously it was on 6 a.m.
It was
here.
a great day though.
Well, the internet off and all that on my phones. Went to the gym, avoided watching the tellies and that.
Which was hard, by the way.
Then cracked open some beers at like 4 o'clock and started watching it. And
I love that.
Wish I hadn't bothered because it was shite, wasn't it?
I know.
Match was shite.
I
Had a
love
good
that
time
day.
though.
I
It was
love that
class.
day. Like, never watched the match with a beer in years now.
Aye, because the time difference is shite, you know.
Aye, I hope England get to the final, mate. You know what? People's going on. Oh, Germany's route. Loads of big teams are getting sent in and all that. They're like, oh, easy route to the final. I hate that, mate. Now, if England for me, if we're gonna win the World Cup, I want to get there the hard way, mate. I want to beat Germany and all that.
Aye.
Imagine beating Germany in the final, man. That's the pinnacle of the
Aye,
World Cup.
aye.
I don't want to be getting drawn against Australia in the final. You know what I mean? Anyway, so saying Fury's gonna beat Chisora. England's gonna win the World Cup with an easy route through. We've got Ty Vasa fighting this weekend. I like him, like.
Nice class.
Aye. I might get out for that actually. Might get doing that sport and pain. What do you reckon?
We aye.
4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Well, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Oh, thanks a lot. Really means
we'll
a lot.
be winding down for the festive period soon. You might get another 1 or 2 out there.
We might shoot one from the Gold Coast.
Aye.
What do you reckon about that? Get that swimmer on.
Aye, get the old beer there on. Might wear a Christmas jumpers next week on the show, eh?
You reckon I?
Why aye.
I'll get myself one of them shirts because the Air website.
Aye, well,
I'll try yours on, see if it's the same size what they do.
Alright, well thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Remember, if you share our video, you get one of these new filter mugs.
You fuck.
ringing its way to you.
It take a couple of you, because they're coming all the way from Australia, mate. Alright, thanks for tuning in.
Tell your mate about the show.
Tell your mate about the show.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Oh, my knees just went out.